Hey everybody, it's Cage, and this is me checking in for day number 2 of my 30-day transgender video challenge. I am wearing a bow tie, you just can't see it because of my beard. But I'm only dressed up because I came from a benefit that I performed at for autism awareness. So anyway, happy Palm Sunday. Day number 2 of the 30-day trans video challenge is actually, let's see. How did you choose your name, and what names were you thinking about using, and why? So when I first decided that I was going to transition, I just went by K or KJ because those were my first and middle initial. So I went by those for a while. And nothing really stuck. I know that I like the letter K, and I wanted to keep that. So I had chosen a bunch of different names, actually. Kieran, Caden, Kyle, those sort of names. My mom kind of came up with some names like John and, Joe and those kind of names that just don't suit me. And I mean, those are great names, but they're just not for me. And for a while I considered Jonas as my first name, and I kind of came up with Jonas because in Hebrew Jonas means a dove. And in the story of Noah's Ark, and I'm not religious at all, but in the story of Noah's Ark, it was a dove that Noah sent out to see if there was land, basically, and if the flood was over. And it was a dove that came back with the branch, letting him know that the worst was over and the world could start anew. So there's that. And doves are also widely known as a sign of peace. So being Jonas brought me peace. So that's where Jonas came from. And I actually did think about using it as a first name for a while, and I figured people would call me Joe a lot, and I'm not a Joe. I'm just not Joe. So I didn't think that it would be appropriate as a first name, considering everybody always shortens first names anyway. So I took it as my middle name to fill the J portion. Now, as far as Cage goes, for a while I was just going to make my first name my first initial, just K, and go by K Jonas or just Jonas. But a friend of mine and I were talking, and I used to work with him, and he was like, I think your name needs to be, it's too many, like it's kind of weird in the mouth. He's like, like KJ, it just sounds weird. And then he was just like, KJ, Cage, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And I was like, you know what, I kind of like it. And I went by it for about 2, almost 3 years before I really settled on it. And it just kind of clicked. Everybody, yeah, you look like a Cage. Like, plenty of people have said that. And I just, I really like my name. My last name was actually changed as well, and it's a funny story how I came up with it. Coven. It looks like Coven. It's not Coven because I don't like the short O sound, so it's an O sound, a long O. It actually came when my ex-wife was driving past a sign for a cabinetry place around here, and it's called Coventry, and the sign was off in such a way that the TRY were not lit up, so it literally just said Coven, and she kind of took it as a sign. It just felt right, and it just kind of clicked. So that's kind of where it came from. I love my name. I'm super attached to it, and I'm very proud of it, and I use it wherever I get the chance. So, it's very near and dear to my heart. And yeah, so, I mean, the only other name I could see myself having been would have been Kieran. It means Dark One in Celtic, Gaelic. I really think that Kieran would have been a good name for me, but I'm happy being Cage. I think it suits me. So that about does it for day 2 of the 30-day transgender video challenge. I'm really proud of myself for, actually buckling down and doing it on a Sunday after I had a performance and before another performance that I have later. So, yeah. So, tomorrow, tune in for my next video. That'll be day 3, and I hope to share more with you. Take care of yourselves.